Hi, my name is Brother Bill Walter. My real name is Otso. I've been taking kind of a break from everything for because there has been a great loss in my family. Our family pet died. Her name was Nila. And I've just I've been just trying to handle it. And this video is not about me. I don't want this to be about me. I want this video to be kind of a tribute to a really special dog I miss greatly. If you're not, if you don't need to watch this video. If you don't want to listen to it, you can just watch the cute dog pictures. I'm fine with that. You can just mute this video and everything, and I most likely will have a silent treat, like another video with no other than just photo. But if you do want to listen to this, thank you. I've had Nila for 9 years. We picked her up from a litter of puppies near my parents' house at 2013. There were, I think, 6 to 7 puppies there, but Nila's kinda stood out to us while me and my sister, bigger sister, went to pick her up. She she was a bit more affectionate and wasn't as wild as the other puppies. And she had a unique white tail tip that just made her stood out a bit more. She was so adorable, as puppies usually are, and the adorableness would just only grow with her. She was just so lovable, and she was really loving in return. She would get so excited when guests would arrive, like you had no idea. She loved people and wanted to meet everyone she could, no matter where. We had to put even like a warning sign for an overly excitable dog at the door because it was just a lot when a guest would arrive and she would go all crazy, like, oh my god, a new person. Oh, she wasn't dangerous at all. Not the slightest. She grew big. She became kind of like a hefty dog and strong too, but she was never dangerous, and she she was just so nice. It was like because she became so big and strong, it was kind of hard to keep her under control on a leash because she would just pull you with her. Like, we're going to meet this person no matter what. It was it was silly, but nobody would ever mind it because she was so cute and nice. She was also a bit of a princess, just a bit. If she didn't want to do something, she would dodge any way she could to not do it. Um, she didn't like brushing, getting her like she didn't like to get brushed, like or get her nail clipped at all. I don't know why, but she just every time she would see the brushes and stuff in someone's hand, she would just get out of the way and just like dodge and hide away. It was amusing. Uh, when she wanted something, though, she would just poke you with her snout and then do a loud sniff for attention, showing her that, like, now you're going to do this. Come on. Like, she also had like escapist nature to her. She learned how to open doors because she was big enough to get the handle, and she also learned a way to get out of a dog harness. You know, you have a harness that you put your string attached. We didn't put the string at her collar because this collar would just get out from her neck. We had to put like a harness, and she would escape that. We went to buy another one, and the shopkeeper was like, "This should keep her. She shouldn't be able to escape from this, but she did." We just learned to kind of like. Later, she didn't escape as much. Every time she would kind of like get out of us, she would just run around an area, which wasn't like bad, but she had a habit of, chasing cars like dogs do. So it was something it would be kind of dangerous if she was left alone. Yeah. Thankfully, there was never a major accident, but there were close calls, which were something I'll still remember. She had a habit that I just simply loved. She had a habit of breaking down my door to greet me if I had slept too late at weekends or at holidays. I sleep really late, so she was just like, okay, now you're going to wake. And then, because then she would jump to my bed halfway and we would just be there. I would scratch her neck and she was just hanging around, and it was nice. She would jump halfway because we didn't allow her to get into sofa fully because we were taught to not to do that because of it's a good thing to do, I guess. But she did kind of, even though she wasn't allowed on the sofa, when the night came, she would just go to the sofa. Everyone would be sleeping, and someone would wake up at middle of the night. They could like see her at the sofa, and she would just get fast out of the sofa like she was never there. But I don't know. That was just so funny. Nila had few animal relationships. There was a neighbor dog to his school. That was the kind of like the old geezer from the neighborhood, as of dogs go. Um, he was kind of in love with Nila. It was kind of clear. Like Nila was the much younger in comparison, but Nila would not say Nila would say no to the advances, and then they would just play a little. It was a it was great for a long, and that was kind of like the childhood friend Nila has for many years. There were other neighborhood dogs that she played with, and she did have a couple of bad experiences too, but thankfully they never made a lasting impact to her. Ava is my cousin's dog. He got it like last year, and the first time they met was a kind of a just drama. It was so dramatic. Nila being so eager and so confused about Ava, she would bark so loudly, and we were so afraid that she would hurt Ava in some way. And we just had to kind of like just 45 minutes of pure kind of like trying to protect the tiny dog from Nila. Even though Nila probably wouldn't have hurt too much. I don't know. It was exhausting. And it was exhausting for the dogs because they just went to sleep because they were so tired from all the barking and stuff. Is not Ava for a tiny dog isn't scared for big dogs, so it was so funny how they just kind of like they became friends. It even though it was like a long period of time of just stressful things, once they tired themselves out and got used to each other, it was all smooth sailing from there. Nila had kind of few major fears that were kind of a major part of her life. She had fear of lightning and fireworks, like many dogs do. She also had a fear of swimming. Every time lightning or fireworks would get hit, she would just get really scared. And the way she got scared, we had never really seen before. She would try and claw her way into corners, just kind of like trying to find a safe space around anything. She would get up on like high. She would try to get high places. Like she would get up on our long chairs, and because we have a sauna in our parents' house, she would crawl up below it, the door, like because there's a huge opening there. But I don't think it was really. She forced herself. That always kind of like freaked me out. And then she would get really up into the sauna and just be there, and just she would just keep panting and drooling all over the place because she was hyperventilating. We would try to keep her calm and everything, but was it was really stressful, and it was. We would try our best to keep her safe, but she would just keep being scared for a really long time. What can you do? It's your dog's nature. It's the survivor instincts kicking in. It's not her fault. And we never blamed her. She would also just try to claw herself into my closet that is full of stuff. And sometimes, because my dad has like this electricity thing, that if electricity gets cut, then a machine might beep. And this didn't always necessarily mean a lightning storm, but my dog would assume it would be. So she kind of like learned to panic when that would happen, and it wasn't really a good thing because nothing bad was happening. She just thought it would. Then there was the whole swimming thing. Like my dad likes to take her to long walks in nature because he's a nature photographer. And one of those times she fell into a river when she was really young. And since then she had a mild fear of swimming. She would get into the water, like we had this tiny beach in where my parents live, like not next to it. It's a public beach. It's kind of like it's somewhere. And she would get into the water when it would be summer and hot, and but she would never swim. And when we would go to swim, she would just bark and kind of I guess get worried that we would get drowned because of her. We were never in danger, but she was kind of worrying. And but it was fine. She never went she never went into a kind of like shock. She was just like she didn't like it. Was more like the feel I got from it. She didn't like us going to the water. Don't go into the water. Get out of the water. Don't go so deep. Like some kind of a ant that is majorly concerned. Man, like what made Nila so lovable was definitely her face and her personality just radiating from it. Like she actually had been in few books. Yeah, like there's few books. My dad had made a book called Man and Dog, which is him photoshopping himself and Nila to all types of scenes from different photos he has taken or found somewhere. There was also a separate book that was about the whole corona situations, like the isolation, I believe, which they just put her face on the cover because, I mean, if you look at the cover, it looks so. It's just perfect presentation of feeling of kind of like a funny presentation of feeling of boredom, I guess. It fits. Nila is not my first dog. I've had two dogs before her and a turtle. And I mourned those dogs. Love those dogs too. Turtle too. The effect these laws had on me was just a bit more. It was so full of personality. And she was an inside dog. Like the other dogs were outside most of their life. And we kind of like developed a deeper relationship with, I guess. Well, it's hard to say. She became kind of like an icon and the mascot of the family. Like, I have never taken so many photos of a dog, and all of our group chats are kind of like are a photo of her, and she's just she's just our mascot, and she was a great family member, and we shared so many memories, and she was an amazing dog to own. She was an amazing dog the family have. And we had her for 9 years. It was it was a lot when it was really a lot when the bad news came.
I've been here day in, day out, never spoken out loud. What I never knew is that you would be here too. So I took my short steps and I breathed my deep breaths. I did it 'cause of you, 'cause you would see me through. Did I make it clear that I love you from the other side of the screen? Did I try enough to convince you of what I really mean? But now I see you all are here for me. How did things turn out this way? I'm living my dream each day, giving what I can and learning who I am. And now I look around me, and friends are all that I see, and everywhere I go, I hope that my heart shows. Did I say enough that I love you from the other side of the screen? And do I seem sincere when I thank you? 'Cause I mean just what I mean. But now I see you all are here. And now I see you all are really here. Yeah, now I see you all are here with me. I've been here day in, day out. Said I